Welcome to Daily Creatives. I have not done a video in a long time, and I realized take one of this video, I completely had not pushed play. Welcome to the home of videos for dailycreatives.com. Let's get back to creating and making just for the fun of it. Connecting to nature, we can achieve a balance, a sense of mindfulness and calm. Join me to discover and create a life you don't need a vacation from. I'm in my studio, it's been cleaned up, and I'm ready to go and show you some interesting things that I've been working on. I'll do some walkthroughs of some handmade journals that I've made recently. While we're here, I just thought I'd also talk about, if you don't have access to all the different materials to do your own paper journals, it's easy enough to pick things up. This one I picked up in Mexico when I was signing up for an art journaling project with Brené Brown, following the gifts of imperfection, and it's fun. You can add little bits and really make it your own. I liked this really small size because you could really fill up the pages with lots of color, and it's really fun to look back on these. This one's got my Mexico sticker on it, and I was going through a lot of business planning ideas in this one. Strategy, target consumer, some original business planning ideas. So anyways, these are all just really great to look back at later. So, without any more talking, we'll get to the flip through of the journals that I made. For my recent retreat, I wanted to make my sister a little bit of a gift because she spent so much time helping me. For the gift bags, she made these amazing, these are the cases, hand-turned pens that went inside for each of the guests. Anyways, I wanted to give her something special, and these handmade books are just something that's really captured my imagination recently. So I started off with a handmade envelope. And then inside, I made this little card, just using washi tape and little clippings from magazines. So that'll go with the gift. The outside, I want it to be really this nice, shiny sort of paper. And then inside, first page. Image that has a camera and music and various different ideas that relate to her, I think. And then this cute little sticker. And then for the retreat, we had pulled out a bunch of different books that we thought the text would be really fun to put into our projects. So I included some of that from Winnie the Pooh here. Another magazine page, a bunch of blank spot for her to work with, some tissue, and then a cool comic strip where I've replaced the name that was Michael for her son's name. I'm not sure if it's an accurate depiction of him, but it's fun. And then at a recent course I took, this vintage paper, and this has got, you probably can't see it, but there's this amazing water seal in the paper. Some musical notes. And then this one is an envelope that has a little card inside. And then more washi tape. And a lot of these pages are stitched together and glued back together. This is a piece of journal paper that I had pulled apart, the journal for a recent class that I took, and I think this is from Sri Lanka, and these are silk threads that were made into the paper. A washi tape. And then here I've taken another one of those magazine pieces and made a little envelope. This one doesn't have anything in it. Gives her room to put things. This can be folded or left open. And then this is the back side of that musical paper, and I loved this image here. Reminded me of her. More of that vintage ledger paper. Little fold out. Tissue again. And I really like this one. Back side of that. Or handmade paper and washi paper. Or washi tape, I mean. And then the back page. It's just a little torn out representation of her letter B with a little note to herself. Little glassine envelope she can put something in. She's always taking photos, and her name is Barb. And then handmade with love from me, her sister, her big sister. Recently I took a course at Maywall called Binding Time, and this was the handmade journal book actually that I made, and this is actually hand stitched. So again, I started with just some interesting bits, a glassine envelope that I put an image inside, and then I put time stamped here. This piece of paper on the front I have had since my book that I was starting for my wedding almost 25 years ago. So here's a little quote from the course. And then I've included some really lovely things that just speak to me. This image of a heart drawn in the sand. These are pressed flowers that I made years ago, and my husband made a special press for me to make these, and then was sad that I had never done anything with them. So here we are finally. Some really nice paper. That's me back in 1980, or I don't know, 89 I think, making a party dress in my mom's sewing room. Some silk paper or some silk thread in the handmade paper, and a fold out. In the course we were asked to make marks just as we were walking along through the studio or wherever we wanted to. So on top of the marks I just wrote a little bit of a story. Whatever was coming to me at that moment, just free form. And then the way I bound that, it makes a pocket here. And then I made an envelope, and inside is a freeform, ripped up image that I made that looks like a sailboat. Love the names of Canadian places on it, US-Canada border. That's attached with some fabric. And then this is an interesting image where I've just pondered on why money's been such a big deal in my life. these images with money in it. Another stop and start of just wandering around the studio at my wall. And there's a pocket. Beach rocks, which I absolutely love, love, love. A piece of print that I'm probably going to have to figure out how to do the redact process on. So that one's to be done yet. And then on the back side, this wonderful handmade paper that I made for myself. And this one is glued and then stitched onto a piece of tissue vellum. Another handmade journal. Have a look at the website. The daily finds this week are all going to be about handmade journaling that other people have done, following the commonplace book theme of last week's daily finds. See you over there.